We experience gravity as a downward tether. It is the weight that anchors our feet to the pavement and gives everyday objects their heft. If that anchor vanished, you might expect a peaceful transition to weightlessness, the kind of graceful drifting seen inside a space station. But this overlooks a critical variable. Earth is a massive sphere, rotating at over 1,000 miles per hour. Without an inward pull to counter that spin, everything on the surface follows its own momentum, thrown off in a straight tangential line. The lack of gravity transforms the planet into a massive, high-speed centrifuge, flinging everything into the dark. At T0, the sudden release of tension triggers an immediate surge across every city and landscape. Anything not bolted into the deep bedrock, cars, loose structures, and every human being breaks contact with the ground and begins moving outward. This diagram illustrates the escape geometry. You aren't flying upward. You are traveling in a straight line, while Earth's curved surface drops away beneath you. Within seconds, the distance reaches thousands of feet, thrusting you into the upper atmosphere at unrecoverable speeds. In 60 seconds, the surface is cleared. The planet is left as a silent, empty landscape, as its inhabitants are cast into the sky. The purge extends to the very air we breathe. Earth's atmosphere is a gaseous layer held against the surface exclusively by gravitational pull. With that tether removed, the atmosphere immediately expands, bleeding away into the vacuum of space. This causes a fatal plummet in air pressure and oxygen levels, turning the sky into a lethal vacuum in a matter of seconds. Without gravity, the planet's rotation causes massive seawater bodies to detach from the seabed, rising into the sky as chaotic, floating masses. Stripped of its protective shielding and life-sustaining water, the Earth is reduced to a naked, unstable rock. Deep underground, the crisis reaches its peak. Gravity provides the colossal inward pressure required to keep the planet's internal mass from flying apart. Without that binding force, the tectonic plates and the solid outer crust lose their structural integrity. This cross-section shows the imbalance. The highly pressurized core and mantle have nothing resisting their outward push and expand aggressively. The bedrock shatters. Continents fracture into fragments, drifting apart as the planet disassembles from the inside out. The Earth ceases to exist as a coherent body, physically failing and scattering its mass into the orbital path. Where the Earth once traveled, there is now only a silent, expanding trail of wreckage. The planet has been replaced by a diffuse cloud of shattered bedrock and floating water droplets, stretching out across thousands of miles of space. This transition from a vibrant world to a field of cosmic debris took less than 10 minutes. Gravity is the reason mass can accumulate into a sphere rather than drifting into nothingness. It defines the boundary between a coherent world and a cloud of dust. Without that constant inward pull, every structure in the universe would return to a state of scattered debris. Subscribe to uncover more hidden forces of our universe.